Hello,
G'day,
this is Robert Mirish.
and this is Steve Bissett.
We'll take you on a tour of our development site so you can see the next generation of distributed power technology. To put what we're doing in context, let's start with a view from the air. We're taking off from Modesto, California, and we'll fly east and north to the DLM Ranch, where the owner hosts our development site. We're developing small power stations that run 24 hours per day from the heat of the sun. They'll be deployed by agricultural, industrial, and military users worldwide. This is the future because it solves the fundamental problem of solar, the need to provide power day and night in a controlled way. A diesel engine can do this, and so can the electric utility. It's what a power system must do to play a big role in the world's power markets. The solution is energy storage that is cheap and reliable. Terrajoule's energy storage system costs 1/10 of achieving the same thing using batteries. The shed you see houses the engines, the energy storage unit, and the controls. We oversized the shed to make it big enough for product development activity. You can see the sun glinting off the parabolic mirrors. There are no solar panels here, just mirrors to concentrate the heat of the sun. David Moreland, the grower who owns DLM Ranch, also owns 2 of the solar systems we just saw, all of which were sold, manufactured, and are maintained by JKB Energy. He's hosting the development site for our next generation because of the excellent financial results he's getting from his previous investments in solar power. Now we'll fly back to the airport and drive to the DLM Ranch for a closer look. On the way, we'll circle along the eastern edge of the Central Valley. You can see how quickly the cattle grazing acreage is being replaced by crops. Most of this land is excellent for crops such as almonds, with abundant underground water. However, you don't see cattle country crisscrossed with electrical power poles. Cattle country close to electricity commands a huge premium in land value. New diesel engines are outlawed for air quality reasons. Besides, the diesel fuel costs too much now. Terrajoule frees the agricultural developer from the need for access to the electric grid and makes it possible to purchase large tracts of land for profitable development at a low price. This is where it starts. What we're doing is collecting the heat from the sun, which is free, concentrating it into a form where it can generate steam that we can convert into power. We use classic parabolic trough concentrators. It starts with these precision parabolic mirrors that are made by 4 different companies in the world, exactly the same. The mirrors concentrate the sunlight on these receiver tubes. The black pipe in the middle absorbs the heat, and the glass around it keeps a vacuum around it, which prevents most of the heat from escaping. So what happens is that we have a heat transfer fluid that gets hotter and hotter as it pumps around this circuit, across and back up this other row of tubes, and then over to the engine shed where it's converted into useful power, and more importantly is stored until it's most valuable. The troughs are moved under precise computer control by this simple hydraulic mechanism. Here at our development site, there's a standard irrigation setup with an electric motor driving a turbine pump hundreds of feet under the ground. Our engine shed here can provide power in 2 important ways. One is in combination with the electric grid, and the other is disconnected from the electric grid to show standalone applications, both providing irrigation water to the ranch. The heat transfer fluid is circulated through the parabolic trough loop and into the engine shed. It's circulated by this conventional heat transfer fluid circulation pump. This is where the heat is exchanged from the heat transfer fluid to water to generate steam. The heat transfer fluid flows through U-tubes in the evaporator, which is accumulated in the steam drum from where it goes to power the engines.
This is where we store enough energy to run our engine system at full power all night. It's a conventional steel pressure vessel covered in conventional residential type insulation. Here's how it works. When we have steam energy to store, we inject the steam into the water in this tank. The steam heats the water. When we need the energy, we allow the heat to boil off steam to drive the engines. It's the phase change from steam to water and back to steam that is the breakthrough in the cost of energy storage.
When it's time to convert the energy in steam to useful power, we do it with these steam piston engine modules. The system is modular, so we can change the number of modules according to each customer's power requirement. These steam engine modules are based on over 300 years of steam engine technology development. They're very reliable and very well understood. Each one of our modules is a two-cylinder double-acting engine module where the higher pressure, smaller displacement stages exhaust and provide the inlet for the larger displacement, lower pressure stages. This engine system is exceptionally efficient. A key factor in the efficiency is the use of this large displacement, low pressure stage that exhausts into subatmospheric pressures. The exhaust steam is condensed into water, and these condensers and the water is recycled back into the system, so the system consumes no water.
Sounds beautiful.